Alright. Alright, cool. The new update's out. We have a few things to do today. I want to just get through all the new content at once. So we've got the Archon quest, we've got Daya's story quest, and the hangout event. It's gonna take a little bit. Before that, I want to get these. I want to try it day out there. So I'm just gonna go through these guys.
Let's light it up.
Still in the process of building my Bennett, so
Everybody stand back. Let's light it up.
I'm not the biggest Bennett fan.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
But I get why people like him though, so.
Adventure time.
Alright. He'll be good for Abyss. I really need to build him quickly. I didn't catch him first though. Grinding for artifacts takes so long. Thundering Fury is such a fucking pain. I'm missing out on Sino as well, I'm not pulling for him. I don't know.
Let's dance. I must leave no.
Surrender!
Oh crap.
Just like we rehearsed.
Your sins weigh upon your soul. Guilty! You stand condemned!
Fight this off, up. Steady as stone, as a dutiful maid would.
Through me, justice is served. Your penance is due!
Let the show begin.
Futile!
Okay, let's try Daya. All the leaks, you know. Completely shit on her. I think it's more about the stats rather than the... Actually no, I think it's about the gameplay rather than the stats, right? I don't know.
Everybody stand back.
I'll protect her.
Oh, so sorry. You asked for it.
I don't think she's that bad. Come on.
Teamwork is dreamwork. This will be frozen. Look alive. Ha! Gloves off.
Yeah, no, I don't think she's that bad. I think most of the hate comes from elemental reactions though. But then if you're gonna just use it by herself, then it doesn't make a difference. Alright. Let's go do our story quest first, and then we'll go do the Archon quest. And then end off with the hangout.
Fury.
Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some. We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Huh. So you two are still hanging out together. Dia, didn't you...
I said I was going to resign from being her body. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
you know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes. Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that.
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like... I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is
Oh, looks like Junior's out.
You're too perceptive, my lady. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens.
That's beyond terrible.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do know is that if I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could be. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do that.
Yeah. How can your father...
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dia. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting
what?
to the brigade.
How does that
One thing
work?
I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories,
Did they just...
and even those tended to be
How
pretty
does that
stale.
work, though?
They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons
Maybe her
in the
mother just
forest,
dropped her
or
off
stories of
at the,
mercenaries rescuing
at the
princesses
doorstep.
from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
I don't know how that works.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me. Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, she's super tough, so if she went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot. I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
That's so fucking long. That was so long. Longest cutscene ever. Alright. Let's go do some domain or whatever. It usually ends up in a domain.
Hey, Dia, you're back. Are these two friends of yours? Likewise. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. But it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and a few days ago, a shaman and I trailed them rather than saying they're...
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right.
What kind of
The vast majority of their victims
brigade
are mercenaries from the other brigades of
steal
Deshret's
stuff
relics.
so they can sell
If
it?
their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have.
No, that makes more sense.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific.
Because if they're gonna exchange it
seems
for
they're also
weapons and
trying to
food,
keep things
just
under
fucking
wraps.
steal the weapons and steal the food.
Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the Khan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Haroon, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Khan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
What he said. Besides, Dia, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined?
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they had. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebot. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from her.
This guy needs some smacking
Now that we know
green
you'll have a
behind the
capable
ears, he
partner with
says.
you,
What the
you
hell?
can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with them?
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever she goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh, in that case,
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping it. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homayanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holof? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here's the spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting... All you gotta do is wait and...
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regard.
Will do. You stay...
Let's go. Ratty style. Ambush. Stabbed in the back. Let's go.
This should be the place. Let's... It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another.
No need to worry. She knows her way.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant... Ah, here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance.
That's close enough. Feeling lucky today.
Buckle up!
You're... the flame...
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key and...
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes? You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
I'm not joking around. 2 seconds!
I'll save you the trouble.
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick.
That guy's mad.
I definitely didn't
mad
expect
lad.
him to go that far. Thankfully, the...
What? Why would he be...
I just wanted to test his mettle. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll... There are lots of good...
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and all familiar names. Dakan al-Akmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakan al-Akmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction? Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything, perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon.
Homoyani?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry, but what this piece of paper confirms is
What if the Homoyanis have been kept in the dark?
that's a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this caravan? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Rebot or Port Ormos. Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade.
But why would
I've been to their estate many times, and the only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment, but that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would stoop so low. You're probably right. I know my lady's personality.
But what should we do now?
If you ask me, I'm not worried. It's too early to... Let's go find my lady again. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery... I've considered that possibility. But even still, I want to tell her what... She showed genuine concern for me when we... That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust in your...
Yeah. We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then.
Actually, we're still investigating.
I see.
Something like that.
You all look a little... Why don't you discuss it with me?
It's okay, my lady.
So something is wrong. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunya's
My lady, please
The master. Okay. My father has been
Yeah, it makes... I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the
I can't help but agree with the...
Huh? You mean you feel...
Thank you for sharing all this. Since you've told me everything you know in the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of...
About that. Well, later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries. He offered me a pile of more.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question.
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe... I think I get what you're saying.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dia into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dia to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homiyani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homiyani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Tia.
It's all right, Dia. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was the thing about friendship again? Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dia. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the Master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
You...
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce the...
Yes, my daughter. But we may skip.
Well, we wanted to bring...
So, that's what you found? Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind,
Well, it's a long... What I do know, though, Dia, is that the truth will bring you no solace.
Wait.
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. But knowledge always comes at your father, Kusela, and I. Of course, you have the right to seek. The facts of this matter may reduce everything. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the...
His heartfelt... I've made it this far in life without a... I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people. I came here today to support you as the head of the...
Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just... They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our body. Those Eremites were... Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really?
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. We started talking about our children and to repay his kindness. I hired his
So, that's what...
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy.
So, what happened to him?
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing... He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown... At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar, but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, I was completely lost at first, until...
So he was the one who recommended...
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group he was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that if Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard...
And that's why you offered her...
Yes. But not just because of that. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago.
He was always like that.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. Eventually I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that the...
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumor, but by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to... That thought occurred to me as well. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down... I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my...
If you can, please tell. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then...
Oh no, Dia.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. Another way? But I guess you do have a point.
I'll do my best to help. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some good, however, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool...
Understood. Thank you.
I'll stay and be with my father here. My father has indeed done something wrong. I feel like our only course of...
Yes. It's time to face my...
Huh?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violate...
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you... Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. This place should do. Alright. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakan al-Akhmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Where is this, in the desert? Oh, yeah.
Behold!
Seems like we're in luck. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Dia, why are you here?
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Look alive! Ha! Cha! Here! Hey!
She's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no... Did you understand a single word I just said?
All right, everyone, let's all just, Dia, he died.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's...
When did he die?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's relics must pay in blood for what they...
Let me start from the beginning.
Overwhelming strength and
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it, regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced. Every person in Desh, whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty. That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, but you, Dia. You were...
I never even...
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly, but in the end, he was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete
We all knew he was doing that for you.
And that's why he became a shell of himself.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight.
So, even the...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said his words made no sense to me. But that night...
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but how could we leave with a clear conscience?
The boss can't have just died for nothing.
From that point on, the sole purpose, the big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters strength. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the... There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, but we won't let any of them escape.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, all we can do is exchange our loot from... We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. We were also able to attract many... Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. We used to always laugh at him for it. As for me, I never considered myself a hero, but maybe we were all just acting alone. I'm sorry, Dia. I know you always found...
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. All I know is that Deshret... Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see...
Thank you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd...
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained...
He can think whatever he... But the fact is...
That was actually... That was a twist. I didn't expect that. He's dead. It's always a dark twist, man. Can't have a happy ending twist. That was fast.
You shouldn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Should be.
And it is a domain. I was right. Oh, I'd have a Dendra unit. It might be required.
Ready. Let's go.
Did I replace my Electra with the Dendra? Oh my god. Ah, whatever.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here.
Who cares? We'll...
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot.
Yeah. We'll know what they're really capable of. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance.
Happy to oblige.
You are not welcome. Squall Fury. Following orders. You punching. Unsightly insects.
Rest and rebuild. Let's get it on. Hi.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Wait, they went charging ahead without checking for any trap.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this,
Don't worry about us. We knew. Let's go. We can't let the boss down.
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it through.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Oh no.
Okay, let's go.
Please don't be an Electra one. Oh no. Oh, okay. Okay, okay, that's cool then. I'd have to change my characters.
Allow me. Look alive.
What does this thing do? What are things? Fiery Sanctum. Okay, so it can be affected by other people. It's really only
Another
made for her,
mechanism
though.
like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
You asked for it. Buckle up. Ha!
Hold the line. Covenant of the Deep.
Hope I'm not missing any chests. I'm not really looking around. Nah, who knows?
Let's move out.
Oh crap, I need to change this.
Let's move out. Let's move out.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side, but as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all
Don't waste your breath.
Run. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even now, the greatest shouldn't...
So you want to go...
Let us draw our weapons! They are but two, while we hold within ourselves. Wave one, charge! Eliminate them!
This guy's gonna die, bro.
Let's rebuild.
Windrise, you're dead! Know your place!
Don't think that you've won. You're just getting started.
Look alive! You're dead meat!
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
Retribution!
Brothers! This is where we'll prove our faith.
You all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us. This place is like a gladiator's ring.
Yes! Keep fighting!
When the next wave comes, I'm going to see if I can take out...
Get out of my way!
Is that
Come
all
and
that
face
left?
me, Michel! Ugh. So they've broken through the front as...
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
Oh, okay, the whole team survived. I thought some of them just died. That's nice.
So...
Time to pay for everything.
I will be buried in the sand.
What did he do? Did he bite his tongue as
We
well?
were too late.
It's over. There's no. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenaries.
Hey, dear! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go.
The fuck? What? What? I did want to see what's down there, but that was by accident.
Who are you filthy rats? And
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret.
who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side. Hey, have you ever heard of a... Why would I know?
This is your last.
Hey, I said I don't... If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves?
The irony. His life became a light for so many. Where's the records room?
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go...
I mean the old record.
The old records room? Kusela. Ah, watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a... He couldn't have possibly out... And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disorder.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware. Tell me, where is the old...
It's just over there. Go see it for... There's nothing left in there but ashes. No Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard the... Spare them no mercy.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he...
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is this a cane?
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that.
Let's split up and look around some more.
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dia, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dia, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall
No,
plague
this is
us
cute.
no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad. What's this?
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon. Hey, come on! Paimon's not that stingy. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. Junior Azad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks, you two. Honestly, my chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotion, but when everything came to an end, those emotions, it was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me. Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, we're hypocrites. All of us. Yeah, you're right.
You're back! Are all of you all right?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many... Huh? Dia.
Paimon will explain.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well.
Dia...
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing is fine. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert
I understand how you...
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, it's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father. And even if the ending of the story may...
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we...
Right. You said you want...
We'll come along, too.
I can't thank you enough for taking care...
Quit following me.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship...
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey, aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk?
Oh, that's what that
Wait.
was.
Are you here to take revenge?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan Al. When I got there, I found no one except the members who were...
Ah, so you probably...
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, one of the injured members gave this box to me. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get...
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk.
Perhaps it's just...
A handwritten copy of a storybook. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule...
That probably means this was...
Ah, and here are a few bags of children's snacks.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, He always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip. I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. Two empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Huh? There's something.
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing did. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't to Dia. It's a letter. It's all right. I'll just read it out. If you.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore. If you're reading this letter, then you were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or... But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's...
Can you believe...
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you... And the reason being that...
Wait, what?
What the
Surely,
fuck?
He must be joking, right?
Whoa.
I don't know.
That's another twist.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little, but your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy. I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. Anyway, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's... In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child, I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative...
Yeah. It's just a...
Do you already have some ideas?
I do. I just have one wish. That there once existed a child, and that only under his care was I able to...
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on a...
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Zap. It's the exact opposite of the I am your father meme. I am not your father. That was actually a shock. I did not expect that. Got 2 shocks in one story. Quite excessive. I like that. That was good. One of the better story quests. The last one was like Nilu, I think. Or was it Skara? I don't know. One of those. Nilu's one was fucking bad. I hated it so much.
The wind rises.
It was like an hour of cutscenes. I just stood there.
Behold. Too slow.
Alright, our conquest. And then we can go quickly do the hangout.
Huh? Wait, you're that blonde traveler who's on a journey to all corners of Tevat, right?
Who's asking? Do you mean...
You bet I do. I was worried I wouldn't be able... He was a crafty fellow, let me tell you. Took advantage of a loophole in our mailing system by opting for guaranteed delivery, then filling in the most obscure mailing address I've ever seen.
Well, we are always on the road, so yeah, it's pretty tough to get mail to us unless we happen to go to the post office on a whim. So,
He just wrote, next to a small, white-haired talking fairy.
what? So the address is Paimon?
Yeah, exactly, right? And if I'd failed to deliver the letter, I'd have been bound by regulation to compensate him. Really, he got me good. I count myself very lucky that I ran into you here. Of course, here it is.
Come on, Paimon would... Kaya, huh? So he's here in Sumeru. Now that Paimon thinks about it, Crafty does describe... From what he wrote in the letter, it looks like he didn't think there was much chance of it reaching us. Or maybe he's just being sneaky. Do you think he's making this... yeah, you're right. The letter says that he hangs out at Jafar Tavern every afternoon. Perhaps we should drop in on him then, huh? Kaya should be at Jafar Tavern right now.
That's right here.
Squall Fury! Quit following me.
I'll have something I haven't tried yet, boss.
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid you've already tried every type of liquor we serve.
Oh? Well then, just the bill, please. It's just as well, I suppose.
Kaya, you're really here! Paimon half thought you were playing some sort of prank.
Hey, Paimon, traveler. Looks like the gods smile upon me after all. And come now, I wouldn't joke about wanting to see my good friends.
Why does he sound more sinister than before? I remember his voice differently.
Wait a second. You must be here on official business, right? What do you think you're doing spending every afternoon drinking at the tavern? You itching for a lecture from Jean?
Not at all. The acting Grand Master positively terrifies me. Why would I ever do anything that might displease her? The truth is, I'm in Sumeru to learn about the alcohol industry here. So despite how it might look, I'm actually at Jafar Tavern for strictly business purposes. Sumeru's spices are famous the world over, and it's long been rumored that this fine establishment was where a certain very popular spiced cocktail was invented. That's why the Knights sent me, their foremost expert in alcoholic beverages, to come and see if it is as good as the rumors say.
And how did that go?
So far, so good. I'm already in talks with some spice merchants in Port Ormos about some potential collaboration.
Yeah, that does sound like a great business opportunity. Guess Don Winery and Master D-Luke are gonna make a tidy sum from this one too, huh?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Whether this lucrative opportunity gets passed along to Don Winery or not depends on how nice I'm feeling.
Hey! Using your job to settle personal grievances isn't very knightly, Captain!
Oh? What makes you say that? Very sharp of you. I wouldn't say I'm familiar, though. I just came here on the sly once, when I was very young.
And? Do continue.
Do I have to? When I said we could talk about the old time, well, all right, since you're so interested. Like I said, I was very young then. Dawn Winery had only just taken me in. I overheard my adoptive father talk about sending a team of merchants to Sumeru during a business meeting. I'm sure you'll agree that everyone's curious about their roots on some level. And my roots? They're in Conria, which is said to have been located deep underground. And so I stowed myself away amidst the cargo and silently joined the merchant delegation on their trip to Sumeru. But it wasn't long before the merchant delegation received news that I'd gone missing. Their leader promptly found me, and before I knew it, my adoptive father was dragging me back home by the ear. It was a short-lived adventure. Sorry I don't have a more thrilling story for it. Honestly, not much. The only reason I knew that Conria was near Sumeru is because I happened to read that in a book when I was young. My life had less and less to do with Conria as I grew up, and so I started caring less as well. I used to believe that I had inherited some sort of duty from my father. But then I began to wonder. Maybe my father left me in the peaceful land of Mondstadt for no other reason than simply to give me a happier life. A happy life sounds good to me, of course, even if it means being cut off from certain things. This is obviously all speculation. Simply put, I'm afraid that I'm not particularly in the know on this topic. These days, my surname, Alberich, is probably the only link to Conria that I have left.
One death afternoon, please, boss. Tell me, what do you know about the significance of that name, Alberich?
Dainsleif?
Ah, you've decided to join us. I was wondering how long you planned on listening in. I believe I've seen you before in Mondstadt. Dainsleif, if I'm...
So you remember me. Then we are already acquainted, Kaya Alberich, descendant of the Abyss Order's founder.
Huh?
What?
I take it that you weren't aware of this until now, Kaya. Or you wouldn't have been so forthcoming with your surname.
Oh my. That's quite a lot of baggage for a surname, isn't it? Though I must say, it does confirm an old suspicion of mine. I suppose that was why my father left me in Mondstadt after all.
I'm surprised that you take me at my word without the faintest hint of skepticism.
Well, perhaps what you told me just happens to answer some questions I carry in my memories. And in any case, I recognize your eyes. You're a pure-blood Conrian, aren't you?
Very clever. Forgive me for being direct, but I sincerely hope this new knowledge doesn't change anything. If you've already let go of your ties to the past, then keep it that way.
Kaya, you're not involved with the Abyss Order in any way, are you?
Hey, hold on now. This conversation has taken a rather sudden turn for the deadly serious. And I'm afraid that as someone from Mondstadt, I'm not accustomed to this sort. So what if I know my ancestry? Do I strike you as the type who would be bound by that kind of thing? Relax. I'll be just as delighted to hunt down the Abyss Order tomorrow. Either way, looks like we're out of time. I've got a spice merchant to meet in a minute, so I'll leave the three of you to carry on the conversation.
I'll...
See you around. And Dainsleif, no need to listen in from the sidelines next time we meet. Let me buy you a drink.
You don't really trust him, do you, Dane? You're both from Conria, but...
The fact is, I still do not know him well. It would be meaningless for me to jump to conclusions. But can a person truly be unaffected by their ancestry? This remains to be seen. Well, I suspect that they call your brother their prince, precisely because there is a succession of sorts.
Oh, so if he was the founder, he'd be the king, right?
I mean to investigate the Loom of Fate.
Yeah, the Abyss Order's evil plan! We learned about that back in Mondstadt.
Not new. Not exactly. My memories suffer from erosion. But while your brother, he mentioned the Loom of Fate back when we traveled together. Apparently so. I was also quite surprised when these memories tallied up. I recall that we were traveling to Sumeru when the matter was brought up.
So, you're going to the place that he mentioned back then?
Correct. At that time, they must have been introduced in one way or another to this concept. If I recall correctly, we were somewhere in Avidya Forest then.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go!
No. Now is not the time. No, it's just I'm still waiting for my drink.
Seriously?
This guy. That was funny. I like that. Just ups like, I'm waiting for my drink. We're not moving. We're not moving till I get my drink, bro. And it better contain like exactly 3 ice cubes in it. Any more, and I demand a refund or a new drink.
The wind rises.
Wait.
What about it? It looks pretty normal to Paimon.
Yes. The forest has barely changed from how... Let's search the area and...
Is this a field? But it looks like it's been abandoned for a long time. You could be forgiven for thinking nothing was ever grown here. Or, wait, maybe nothing ever was grown here. It's an extinguished bonfire. Forest rangers, perhaps? Looks like it's been ages since it was last lit. And clearly they put it out carefully to prevent a forest fire, too. That's responsible.
Nothing else stands out in this area. All that's left is that building. Come on.
Wait, we're just gonna go barging in? What if someone's home?
Unlikely. There are no signs of life in this area. We should be able to enter without incident.
If you say so.
Let's go steal their stuff as well.
Huh. So there's a box over here. Why don't we open it? And by we, Paimon means you. Paimon's just scared that whatever's inside might... Huh? This is a mirror. It's broken, too. Was this a makeup box? That's kind of... This bed looks pretty ordinary. What sort of person would want to live here? Hey, look! It's a bowl!
Can't you smell it?
Oh, so it's a medicine bowl? Doesn't look like there's anything else worth our attention here.
My memories are quite foggy, but we'll exhaust ourselves if we...
Noises?
It's not much.
Monsters? Wow, his ears are sharp, just like his nose! He's in surprisingly good shape for a 500-year-old. Although, for someone who's as full of surprises as Jane, it's hardly a big deal. Anyway, let's beat up these monsters!
I doubt that the appearance of those monsters was wholly random. There must be something nearby that attracted them. A ley line anomaly, perhaps. Okay. I'll go slightly further out to invest.
What? You're going alone?
Your suspicions are as banal as they are unwarranted. I merely think that this house should... Not to mention that if even forest rangers are capable of investigating ley lines...
Fair enough. Good thing there's a fireplace over there. Let's make her some... cooking is as good as ever. Even if there was no other reason, the food alone would be enough for Paimon to stick with you. Changing the subject, Dane's taking forever. He said that there might be an issue with the nearby ley lines. How bad do you think it could be? We came together, but now it's back to just being the two of us again. You know, now that Paimon mentions it, we really have spent lots and lots of time together, haven't we? So, don't take this the wrong way or anything, but, do you ever get tired of Paimon being around? Oh, you stop it! Now you're embarrassing, Paimon. So, next question. Don't know if it's okay to ask this, but Paimon's curious. What was it like traveling with your brother? The stars? Wow. Yeah, Paimon understands. Being separated without even knowing the reason why, it's just terrible. But we'll find the truth together. Sure as Paimon's your guide. Just you wait, Heavenly Principles, and you too, Teyvat. You know what? We've talked too long about this sad stuff. Let's talk about something happy instead, 'cause if you're sad, Paimon will be too. All right. It's getting dark, so why don't you rest? Paimon will take first watch. Don't worry, no monster's gonna come and eat you up. Oh, come on! Don't say that! Paimon just... nighty-night.
Hey, time to wake up. The sun has risen. What a deep sleeper. Tears? All right. Red.
Paimon got kidnapped. Oh no. It's taken for.
Halt! What do you... This place is not whatever you think it is. Nor should you be poking your nose into my business. Your travel companion. Your companion departed for the forest early this morning. What business is that of yours, Do I make myself quite clear? Leave. Well, what are you waiting for? I've been observing you. Still, I'm warning you. No funny, okay? Fine. Whatever. Just move aside. You... Oh, go on then. Have it your way. But no overreacting to anything you see in here, okay?
He didn't dissect Paimon, did he? Oh shit. Oh crap.
Come on then.
This is real creepy. We just go in there and... Is he dissecting Hilichurls?
Mind your own business. Don't worry. He isn't aggressive. And
This guy is real creepy.
how could he be?
Oh my god.
He was too young for anything like that. So don't you lay a finger on him. Just, you know Conria. Do you worship a god, traveler? Sounds like you've had an eventful life. I apologize for my earlier hostility, but you must understand, as far as I'm concerned, humans who do not worship the Seven are nigh extinct. And all who place faith in the gods are my enemies. That may be. But the fact is that chances to talk to people like yourself have been few and far between since the cataclysm. This wretched curse of immortality. Who knows how long I must continue to suffer like this? The curse. We lost our home. Our loved. All we can do is watch helplessly. Because, although Conria began with a single bloodline, any who forsook their gods and came to Conria were welcomed as our... When the cataclysm came, we pure-blood Conrians, but those whose ancestry belonged to the domains of other... He is Caribert, my illegitimate son. How times have changed. I was a noble of Conria. I resented the life that my family had arranged. Then, one day, I met a Caribert. Faced great hardship from the very moment of his birth. After all that, I always owed him much, and now she was... We were separated. It could... And now that I have lost almost everything, the little that remains, I see with new clarity. If nothing else, at least I still have Caribert. Yes, that reminds me. I only returned here to check on Caribert, but I do have other things I wish to do. You may come with me, if you're so inclined.
If all the Hilichurls are from Conria, how many fucking people were there? It makes no sense to me though. I mean, from a gameplay perspective, you can't just have the monsters completely become extinct because you've like killed them all. But I don't know. I'm guessing they're all from Conria then.
I'm sure you're wondering. Well, it's because one which will help him to recover his... I do not hope to break the curse. I am well aware, but it is said that this medicine is imbued with the power of Sumeru's god of wisdom and can awaken the mind from a state of deep stupor. It has been used in the past to treat cases of mania. I believe that it might just work. I read about it in a book. From the Royal Library of Conria. It was banned. In my youth, I disliked the life of nobility and craved excitement. I was leafing through some forbidden text and happened upon it.
This guy definitely took some drugs before this. I was like, he's a bit too giddy.
What other choice do I have? What exactly would you have me do, huh?
Get out my face, dude.
The gods have already punished us. Never mind. As long as you understand. I'm sorry. I struggle to take control of my mood sometimes. Perhaps a consequence of having lived too long. As it happens, I am in dire need of some help to make this medicine. My hands don't have the dexterity they once did. Okay. To start with... Also, do you have any, of Sumeru's regional specialties on hand? Oh, wonderful. This is the method. Is it done? In all honesty, I do not... Well, the moment has finally arrived. No! I said before that this which means we must pay a visit. Let's go. Behold!
Why am I doing this to myself? I could have just teleported. Yeah, I'll go through with it, whatever. Okay, now. Wait, what? Oh, come on. You can't use the map.
Look at this. God of which I will... You and your kind destroy you. God of wisdom. My son. Caribert. If everything the god, then I... All I ask... Please, God! I...
The wind rises. Too slow. Squall Fury.
Caribert? Well, we've prepared the... Caribert, it's me. It's your father. Caribert. Caribert.
I swear, if we happen to kill him,
be at your side when you were born.
If he goes mental and starts attacking.
I failed to reach you and Mama in time, but I'm here now. Papa's been by your side all these years. Are you still angry with me? I know. I'm so sorry, Caribert. Forgive me. Please. Oh, gods above! What more do you want from... You took... I'd give you my very life if only... The gods of this world have never stood with humanity, not even for a moment. Other reasons. What do you mean? Huh? You really think so? Give up? No. Even if I must stay here with him for 50 years? Let's go. The most crucial ingredient in this medicine is the unusual... The details don't matter, right? There is a waterfall near the statue I prayed at. I need you to collect some water from there. I'll be here, watching Kari Bear. Good.
This guy's gonna make us do his all fetch quests. Oh no. Where did everyone else go, bro? Where's Paimon? She probably got eaten. And Dane just left. He just refused to come back. Probably saw how creepy this guy was and was like, ah, no. Who are these guys?
The ecological issues in this area.
You Scott, my whole family's having a hard.
Ecological issues. Where? Huh. Whoa. What is this place? Have I been in before?
Quit following me.
Yeah, I've probably been there.
Behold! The wind rises. Quit following me.
Ah, you're back. Kara Bear's condition is stable. By which I mean he... Anyway. I need you to stand guard here for a while. Whatever you do... Ah, good.
Behold!
What happened? Was it monsters? Oh, thank goodness you were here. Oh, yes, I've got the fertilizer. The effects can... Next, we pick the mushrooms and repeat the same steps as before to make another dose.
Bruh. Again? It's gonna make me do this forever.
Oh, sorry. I have been so very wary for many years. I do indeed. That's why it was just a fleeting thought.
Squall and Fury!
We're here. Let's begin. Wait a moment. Hey, what was that? Kari Bear! Oh no, he must have left while we were... Come on!
How'd you know that's him? I didn't look at him specific. Did he have some like clothes or like specific feature? That just looked like a regular HR. damn. Where is this though? Have I been here before? I probably haven't been here.
That's not Cor... right. And Coribear's scarf was yes. It doesn't... yes.
Too slow. Quit following.
Did it go in here? What a ghastly place. Has it... huh? It looks like they're... worshipping. I've never seen anything... Oh, there's a...
Oh, we're getting in the middle of their praying. I feel bad. Who cares? I don't care about their religion.
Too slow.
Just gonna make sure I don't miss any chests. Don't want that.
The wind rises. Quit following me.
No chests. None. Oh. I was gonna miss out on that. I didn't see it.
Quit following me.
Oh, I like that. It's all purple.
Is this a teleportation device? What energy is powering it?
That's the first time. No, we've probably heard her voice before. They should really voice more lines for the siblings. Them being silent all the time is a bit annoying. That'd probably be so annoying though.
Swarm Fury! Wretched vermin!
Am I lagging here? It's actually... I feel like it. It's a bit laggy.
Too slow. Too slow.
There's nothing down there. Alright.
The wind rises. Surge forth.
How did I get on the ceiling? Did the room turn upside down, or gravity itself?
See what this is about. Seems like we can't enter this place.
Quit following me.
I thought it was showing me like a waypoint here. Was it not? Oh, close. Oh crap. Alright.
Quit following me.
Let's go straight through this door.
Quit following me. Behold!
Seems like I need to find a place to insert the rune.
Too slow. Quit following me. The wind rises. Behold!
Okay. Oh, it's that one.
Too slow.
Alright.
The wind rises. Behold!
I forgot that guy was with us completely. He stopped talking for like so long.
Halt, humans! Fate has not granted you the right to enter this place. Do you insist on an audience? Very well. Then I grant you the trial. Foolish mortal!
loud.
And devour! Burn! Desolation!
Hold the line!
Whoa, what was that?
Who was that? He was a perfect. He had the most wondrous aura, and yet you were able to defeat him. Let's continue on. I find myself growing more curious by the second and more excited.
This guy is really mad. Holy fuck. Did I come from here? I'm so clueless right now. Did I come from here? What's over here?
Too slow. Quit following me.
Okay. I think I came from here.
Swollen Fury.
Oh, this is all the way at the start. Now I remember. Because this door was closed when we came in. Okay.
I think we've...
Oh, dear creature. Oh, dear creature. Why do you bow down? You are like a flower, born in sin, yet pure. You need no longer hold back your resentment, nor accept the countless lies. Go forth, and I shall shed a tear.
What? When I saw that thing, my heart... I feel good. Oh, is that so?
He's gonna try kill us. It's gonna happen.
Cory Bear! Oh, thank goodness! He's still okay. I have for this to happen. Right at the... You say that I bowed before that thing's... I have to try. Cory... Cory Bear! Oh, my... You see? It worked! Mama is,
Of course.
How did...
Yes. It feels like I just woke up from a long, long sleep. I dreamed that I was hiding in a little room. Papa? What's...
Don't panic, son. It's just... There's no more Conry here. No, in this world, you have to be a little monster, but you get to stay with
Am I?
No, of course not. Look, Cory Bear, you still have Mama's scarf on your arm. Yes, really. You've only... and, never understand.
Okay, Papa.
Not since that day have I been so glad as I am now. I can't believe this is really happening.
This is like... It feels like a month
I
went
knew
by.
that placing my hope in the Seven was a waste of time. I even... Once a murderer, always a murderer. I was not... But the god we saw in that cave, that wondrous power... Now then... Piety is hardly my area of expertise. A sinner? Oh, don't be upset. You and I have both witnessed his divine power. When has the Seven worked a miracle like this before? No matter. Believe what you will. I am going to pay my respects with or without you.
Oh, don't make me go back there. Bruh.
Too slow.
You have to do this thing in one go.
Quit following me. The wind rises. Too slow. Squall Fury. Too slow. Behold. Quit following me.
No! Impossible! The Hilichurl worshippers have disappeared too? Was it all an illusion? That's true. Yes, it was neither a... Let's go, traveler. There is surely a reason for its disappearance, and I do believe that someday in the future, could he really have been... Cory Bear? Where has he gone? Oh, no, no, no. Maybe someone else came by and found him? No. No, it can't have been that. There's no sign of a break-in and no sign of anyone having... This does not bode well. What if he's spotted by a forest... Wait a minute. This isn't... Oh, no.
Oh, did he look at his face? He took off his mask.
The mirror! It's broken! He must have taken his mask off. And... if he'd just done as he was told! We have to find him.
Oh. Oh. Maybe this is all an illusion. Maybe this is a dream. Broken, apparently it wasn't broken.
It's his scarf. He dropped it. Looks like we're going the right way. Come on. Storm Fury! Caribert! Caribert! Where are you? Curses! Forest Rangers.
Hey! Who are you? We haven't seen you around here before. What's your business here?
Have you seen a, hill...
I asked you first.
I said, have you...
Hey, whoa! There are hilly churls everywhere.
Exactly! Matter of fact, we just took out a few of them back there.
You Forest Ranger scum!
You're raving mad! You've got...
Curse you all, Forest Rangers!
I don't get it. Why makes...
He'd only just regained his mind. So tell me, Forest Ranger...
Jeez. You're really not gonna let this go. Fine, you weirdo. I was frightened at first, but it didn't seem to have any interest in me at all. It was just...
Yes!
Wait, you're leaving? Not...
The wind rises.
What a nice guy. If it was me, I would have killed him. Oh, is he gonna jump off? Oh no. This is gonna get dark.
Caribert! Caribert, stop! Whatever you saw, what I told you. We're... Caribert? How could this happen? Come! Caribert! We have to go home now.
Papa?
Caribert!
Papa, I can't take it.
Please, Caribert! It's my fault. I'm so sorry. If only I'd known.
It's all too much. Papa!
Wait. Do they die if you take off their masks?
Finally, it all... Ah, Traveler! Wait, no. Why am I still calling you Traveler? Oh. Oh, of course you haven't. With your status? In any case, I've been using a fake. My real name is Clotar Alberich. You saw it too, didn't you? Unmistakable, the power inside Caribert and the power of the one you call a sinner. It was one and the same. Yeah. I am positive now. It's the power of the abyss, isn't it? Oh, At long last, that is no business of yours. A sinner. Yes, Caribert did not deserve his fate, but now... It's wonderful. Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the loom. Huh? Sinister? Oh, I never imagined. We once believed that you would bring new strength to us. You were and the one who controls the abyss can control. We yearned for that future. We looked to you to take us, but what did you bring? Oh.
What did he just call me?
Traveler! Hey, Traveler! Traveler!
Oh, gender swap. Ah. What's happened?
You're awake! Oh, thank goodness you're awake! Paimon was worried sick!
What happened while you were... I checked the ley lines nearby. It appears information and memories flow within the ley lines. You mean Clotar, after founding the Abyss Order, his fate, but the curse of immortality continued to torment his body and mind. After 100 years, he lost, yet his dark legacy lived on. The defiled statue that we encountered, you could say that. He wouldn't be the Abyss Order's prince otherwise.
Are you alright? You have a trouble...
So you saw his memories from centuries ago. Still, as I'd suspected, the notion, and it seems closely connected to Clotar Alberich's son, Caribert, and yet your brother never breathed a word of this incident to me. I wonder, was that the moment that he... Indeed. Clearly this series of events sparked a long period. What is it?
The field?
You mean here?
You scared the Duke out of Paimon! Did you rebury them yet?
A male and female skeleton. Interestingly, the male skeleton appears to have been interred much later. But what does this mean? And how did you know that... What? Unless... Clotar Alberich... This all raises far too many we should part ways here.
Huh? You're just...
It's better that we split up for now.
Who's he?
Yes. I have my... If the time is right.
But what do you mean that he saw the travel?
I fear that while these things would limit anyone else...
What? Why? What?
All right. Let's leave it there.
There goes Dane. And just like that, What is it? Huh?
Nice hug. We'll save these. In the last week of the banner. No, more like the last few days of the banner. I'll think about if I want to pull. Likely for Sino. You know what, I'll be... I'll do one on each one. And then whoever I get first, I'll stick with. I don't know. That'll be funny. Or I could just not pull on this banner. Depends on how many wishes I get, to be honest. Alright. Let's go do that hangout. Done everything else, right? always look over them, just in case.
Even though most of the Academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble. I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to...
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust.
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if...
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by your...
Oh, hey there!
Ah, it's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru... Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the Academia. Also, you happen to know about this situation? There are very few... It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to... You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher. Let's just say that a huge part of Ksharowar's mechanical research over the past 100 years have used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation. She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the Academia after being found in the wilderness a few years. Because of that, her current personality can be a bit...
I'm getting a headache.
She doesn't have bad intentions.
I'll try.
Yes, Ksharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced. However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. You know, it's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't... I don't think so. With her personality, it's... Anyway, can you go with Kale to the Academia? I'm counting on you too. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, after all, if she's distracted by other...
All right. Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself? As you know, I'm sure. Hearing goes with age.
Farzan, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Yes. And did you forget to add madam when you addressed me earlier?
Your hearing is Madam Farzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past few years. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves rather than waste any of your time. You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time into doing proper research instead.
But, Madam Farzan, it has been a long while since you last made any practical academic contribution.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible. The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't understand the very nature of knowledge. In any case, it makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway?
Wait! Madam...
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra. Shh! She hates it when people call her young! Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago. Okay, I think I'm ready for this. Let's go!
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Ksharawar would like to invite you to collaborate on this project. They're wondering if you'd be interested.
Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the Academia? I'm much better, Madam Farzan. Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tainari forcing you to stay up late again? No, it's because It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right talking to when I see him. There's... Ah! And is the person beside you the legend? Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while. It is thanks to you, after all, that the Academia is finally getting back on its...
Ahem. Madame Faruzan, I believe...
I'd wager it's those Kasharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their darshan. Say no more. I have no plans to change my field of research.
If you're this unwilling to participate, it might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay this anymore. You need to give an answer. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long already.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it. Of course.
What now? Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Pardistia. I feel for Madame Farazan, but if I get her in trouble with the Academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. Yeah, that would be the best for them both. But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now is study. Huh? Oh yes! This way she can get her problem sorted out quick. So if I also stay and help... okay then.
I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
We're back, Madame Farazan. The Traveler said that she can...
Oh! Why, I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather... Is that so? Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kasharawar has proposed?
You might have heard of it before. Haravatat is an academic faction that researches language.
Now, not was.
Yes, of course. But current Haravatat students can't really... understand.
In summary, I mean to interpret the configurations and solutions of ruin mechanisms via the deciphering of on-site stone carvings and unearthed documents. It'll include research into general documents dealing with such ancient machines.
The research method is supported by Haravatat, yes, but the content deals heavily with both ruins and mechanisms. This will make it difficult for students of this darshan because they don't understand much about mechanisms. Also, there are fewer and fewer unexplored ruins left nowadays, and Kasharawar researchers have been developing their own theories on mechanisms. As such, they don't need to rely on ancient documents.
They're far too complacent. Ancient mechanisms are more dangerous and complex than one might imagine. I'm telling you, things weren't like this 100 years ago. All researchers back then were interested in exploring knowledge from a variety of topics. They also gave more respect to unknown mechanisms. Nowadays, all people are interested in are mainstream subjects in popular research. Even if they attended my course, I wouldn't be interested in teaching them. Also, the people here think that my research is outdated and unrealistic, so they keep cutting my funding. Why, I think they could all stand to learn from Kale.
Huh? Why?
If only those who came to my lectures were more like you. Speaking of which, are you feeling better? You don't have to confine yourself to
I just remembered that I have a lot of studying to do. I need to head back and find Master.
Are you telling me to start a reading course for college?
Huh?
Wait. Although Tainari has academic dealings with the Academia, he isn't considered part of it. This means that
No, she's right. The old Academia, there must surely be many people like Kale and Sumeru who are passionate about... The old Academia paid no heed to them. But if I start a reading course for Kale as a... Oh, save yourself the extra trouble. I'll come with you. If there's any arguments to Traveler, Kale, do...
Wait! I can't believe she rushed rushed right in after we arrived. She's really headstrong. No, not really. Madame Farazan is a brilliant scholar. Even Master thinks so. If she's really going to teach me how to read, it'll definitely be much better than me bashing my head against the wall. It's just that she can get a bit too passionate sometimes. I don't know how to handle that. Maybe it's because she wants to it's just like that researcher said. I don't really get it. But it does seem like Haravatat's students aren't optimistic about the process. Students who are interested in mechanisms and Madame Farazan also refuses to accept random students just to make up numbers. She still hasn't found a student, but she seems to like my attitude toward learning. So she often asks me if it's because I'm a slow learner that I have no choice but to stay up late and study. Whenever she compliments me, I feel really guilty. It's not that. Madame Farazan respects my choices. She hasn't been trying to persuade me, especially since she knows I need to rest and recuperate. She sometimes brings food to Gandharvaville for me, and now that you mention it, it does feel a bit like that.
Kale, Traveler, thank you for waiting. I argued with the higher-ups and convinced them of the practicality and necessity of education. If I'm not mistaken, they're the students of my classmates' students. They're a lot less forceful than their predecessors, though. I'd say they caved rather quickly.
Amazing.
It's just that we need to fill in every single page of the application. It's been a century, but the academia is as picky as ever. Let's see now. What do we need to fill in? Course name? Learning objective? That's a bit too general, I'd say. After all, this class's target audience isn't toddlers or children, but as such, we'll need a more
That's true. If we use children's teaching materials...
And you have your job as a forest ranger, Kale. People who attend this course in the future are also likely to have life commitments. We need more effective teaching methods.
Master always tells me that practice is the best way to learn.
Then it must have been difficult to get books in Sumeru in recent years, no? Tainari, expanding literacy is a capital notion. Now that the academia is easing restrictions on the circulation of books... So that's next on the list. I fear that I'm at a... Fair. Kale, what have you...
Me? I've been reading light novels from Inazuma. I heard that ever since we were allowed to sell books in Sumeru again, some...
Light novels? This is my first time hearing about such a thing, but I doubt I will procure suitable teaching materials from the House of Dana. Treasure Street it is.
Wait for us, Madame Far... You wouldn't think someone as fast as her is over 100. Let's pick up the pace and catch up to her.
What a long and mildly ungrammatical title. And why is the cover so colorful?
Is this your first time seeing a light novel, ma'am? Oh, they're the most popular of books nowadays. Would you
Fine.
Of course. Why don't you try this one? It's Outlander Brigade, When the Wind of Death Blew Towards the Blonde Samurai.
I heard that this book's author...
Now, I've only skimmed through a few pages, but it feels like it's all... The protagonist just ends up fighting in every scene with no proper build-up. Will anyone even enjoy a story that's only comprised of fights?
How about... the good thing about being reincarnated as a hilly churl is that I only need to eat Sunsetias to become stronger.
Classic isekai.
A reincarnation isekai story?
Oh my god, they even say
pretty popular right now.
Isekai? What in the world is that? Also, why does it become stronger by eating Sunseti tropes? Those fictional rules used to push the plot forward, yes? They're definitely effective in achieving a distancing effect. However, this book doesn't explain how reincarnation correlates to becoming stronger. Such an illogical rule will affect the coherence of the story. Will readers really...
How about this? I had to fight tooth and nail to get...
Oh! That's the latest volume...
Now that's a rather normal title.
Yes, but I don't like it that much. Madam?
Let me see. The Third Eye of Perception.
I also thought those names were strange when I was reading them.
It's impossible to derive the meaning of these phrases in isolation. Or did the protagonist purposely create these strange names to disorient their foes? So there's no deeper purpose. Hi. You're right. It's such... Even the most popular book in Sumeru back then had greater depth than... Yes! A Bahumano researcher wrote it while researching. The plot had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the writing could withstand scrutiny. Even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic. The series must have concluded after so many years, right?
Is there a book like that in Sumeru?
It's called Tales of Shariar.
Tales of Shariar?
About 100 years ago.
100 years ago?
The legend of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? If an old story like that is still being shared...
Even if that is the case...
What? I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivil.
Tales of Shariar. I mean, it is a book from 100 years...
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the Academia have let such an excellent work, Traveler? Kale, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's...
Madam, wait! Oh no. You asked me why I'm scared of Madam. It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches, because I can barely understand any of it. What if she uses ancient texts as teaching material? Even so, what if researchers from 100 years ago
Found it! The 5th volume of Tales of Shariar!
Wow, you...
I never thought this book would ever get sold.
All right, that's our teaching material secured. We also now know what to call this course. Analysis of...
Luckily the language being...
As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any Worry not. I shall thoroughly explain... After all this time... Sir, do you have... Is that so? And here I thought I could finally read the ending. If I'm to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier in the series. Is this series really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all. Rather, there's absolutely no demand for it.
No demand? Impossible. Back then...
Seriously?
I like a character.
No one told me that this book was anything special when I first got it.
Where did you get this from?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch. Otherwise, the Matra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot?
That's impossible. No matter how strict the...
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few days ago.
He sighed? Why would he react? I'm sorry. Traveler, call it... Why is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? Also, and a new character is introduced with no foreshadowing. Is this really the Tales of
Well, that passerby reacted in much the... It's Mada from the cafe over there. You know, the fellow who spends all day telling the legend of... Since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing.
Then let's go ask around at the...
Too slow.
Interested in joining
Light Novel Society? What the hell? The people are becoming more and more weeb-like. Isekais and light novels.
Another day, another empty room.
Excuse me?
Yes! Are you here to listen to my
what? Sorry.
It's fine.
Do you know about Tales of
Huh? Tales? My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However...
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He also said that this great-great-grandmaster, he wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better.
And then? What happened?
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. Instead of writing a proper ending, this great-great-grandmaster kept to tap into popular trends. He added a lot of tropes.
How could that be?
In the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster tried to write a few more volumes, following whatever trends were popular at the time, but the trends kept changing right as he published his books. He got so infuriated that he stopped writing altogether and focused on his research instead.
What? So there's no ending?
By that time, Anyway, my master probably exaggerated. The only tangible thing my he also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master talked about Legend of Antara, he'd even quote from those. My master is a much better storyteller but even he won't recite Tales of Shahryar due to its ever-changing writing style and its lack of an ending.
So, Antara's...
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end, only time can separate the classics from the fads.
Only time? Madame Farazan? It's been 100 years. Perhaps some things I once believed to be great aren't so after all. Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first, but in the end, I realized that I couldn't get into them. No matter how good those stories are, I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place. That is true. Readers' interest in what was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times. And yet, 100 years, as far as history is concerned, is but a blink of an eye. If Tales of Shahryar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from start to finish, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, at least it would be a work that was true to itself. Huh? Our conversation just got a lot more serious.
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks...
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, we should get back to the matter of our teaching material. It looks like we can't... No. Kale, you found a book that you liked at the book... Yes, then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think of as for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this. My, it sounds like you've Now then, let's return to the book. But if Speaking of which, other than third eye of perception and illusory mirror, I also espy some unfamiliar phrases from such things as... Even if it reminds me of my dark history, I still can't help but be drawn in by the story. And the author has written all the things that I only dare whisper into a tree hollow. Why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing memory? If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years, it might make it easier to get these books approved as teaching material.
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to imagine themselves as someone burdened by fate, fighting against the world, etc.
No, Chinevia.
But as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such memories.
Mata? You know, I suddenly have the urge to hear a story about Antara.
Huh? Why so suddenly?
I knew it. There will always be people who love the golden oldies.
I like the music in here. I've never actually spent some time listening to that. Very jazzy. Where is this? We'll start skimming through them this time.
What now? Master said that I feel for, but if I get her in... But if someone does, and if the Acad do you have some way to invite her over to Parties the Eye without... Okay then.
Huh. I have to teach students from Haravatat or Okasharawar a favor.
Madame Farazan, we're back.
Well, since
since you're asking...
Please, Madame Farazan, focus. Huh?
Yes. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise...
Yeah, that's right!
Wait. Opportunities for... Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame
A fully automated area...
A fully automated...
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a ruin in the rainforest.
A mechanism like that
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence one way or the other, right?
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the Academia later. That should do it, right?
That was the greatest line ever.
Fine. We
Teacher's
haven't made
teacher,
any
perhaps
progress
from
with
their
either the
teacher.
collaborative project or the elective course anyway. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible. Don't...
Sure. I'll be sure to... Phew. I think she bought it, even though this is our first meeting. I must say, we make a good team.
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madame Farazan?
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if Huh? I'll let Tainari worry about whatever document... If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the Academia not...
We're back!
You don't have to shout. I could... Well, you got here much faster than...
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to, pawn off various problems of mine onto others.
Onto others?
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
That's right. Please.
Quit following me.
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. It's the final work of a late June...
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polished... It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day away. Something seems wrong.
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. However, my knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further, but...
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using... There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure of my understanding of mechanical life... Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space.
All right.
I didn't know mechanical life forms could get sick too. You have...
Oh, Cole's so cute.
We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her. Her past, huh? Quite a few I've told you before that she disappeared for 100 years, right? Her exact...
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall... I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate... I lost track of time, and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. After that, my memory started to become
She doesn't remember anything else, including the when she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago. She looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. The Academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in and because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. In the end, even the Academia had to rely on century-old Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept even after going through so much. Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds what I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, she has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should—
Master, Madam—
Oh? Let's head over.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair—
It used them for something else, but as—
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Carcutta's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. The creators of the Ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue.
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear. Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged part. But like I just said, the module is rare. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the— One can only—
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time—
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert?
But the desert's huge!
According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after—
Should we ask them if they've made any new
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective.
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Carcutta's condition may be stable, but besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that—
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you said you pawned—
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further. That still won't do. Mr.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you visited restaurants. Which back—
He isn't at the campsite now.
What a stubborn guy. You're right. I'm going to give that Raid a good—
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed
No, damn it. I can't dupe him.
That machine looks amazing. The location seems to fit.
The ruins. Don't know. Forget excavation.
This area used to be ravaged by freak. They say that this was done by—
Well, I found out everything I could. Is there anything that stands out to you? The villagers were hired to deliver supplies, but they haven't been allowed near. However, I'm more concerned about Ruin Wanderer. That's the first time I've heard. It's a bit far away.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here? I wouldn't blame you for not knowing. It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various... Some said that it was like a giant. Well then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumer. You youngsters probably don't know about the...
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades.
Wait.
Indulge my curiosity for a moment.
Well, I had also heard...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got drunk. Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid. I'd heard of you at the Academy, and this must be the famous...
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though we've been investigating for a while now.
Really? That Ruin Wanderer isn't noteworthy to you?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as they do into gossiping.
You're right, sir. I'll get back to work now.
The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not put any stock into such baseless talk.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics and see if I can find out anything new about them. You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently attractive.
In truth, I could ask for nothing better than your help with our research. However, you two must be tired after a long journey. It's getting late and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp. There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest. It's a bit...
Since you need to rest as well. This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from eavesdropping on them? Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition, but based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. Yes, the timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now, how do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition? That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical Well, this was over 100 years ago. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. I'll need to research this properly. Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the Academia obedient. If the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on. Anyway, we should figure out. They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us... Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew that not a single person guarding the camps. I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. All right.
Squall Fury!
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out tonight.
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first...
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if you had kept those lips of yours from... Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to me tonight.
Huh? Who's there?
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the last campsite. Some of them, along with a few people, have been left there. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my... The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal them. Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be people interested in buying them. I hired so many... Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the Also, where's Far?
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Sorry, madam.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task took forever, so I came to check in on the situation.
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Yes, we came to check out this. We should get better rest so that we'll have...
Too slow.
Thanks for dealing with... Now, I found something good on my end. According to them, the ruins have been raided before. I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extent. There's no doubt that the wreckage and the ruins don't belong to the same era. It could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to It's just wordplay. Just a bit...
Help! Please help! Why are you running away?
What's that sound? The Ruin Wanderer? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? Never mind. What?
Why is it chasing after us?
What could have caused it to react?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear...
It stopped?
Hey, you guys, get up.
But what if it's suddenly...
You good fun. Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore after years of disrepair. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be.
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because...
Faru-san, you may be my...
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or... January 5th. 3/10 January 10th. One special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an... You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from... When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruin Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated previously to pull the wool over the Academia's eyes. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary Ruin Wanderer, and that forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste, however, you accidentally activated the Ruin Wanderer.
I don't...
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms. You're not fit to be a researcher.
Ridiculous curiosity.
Mr. Raid!
Behind... Why is it moving again? Run!
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like...
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then.
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole... Long time no see, Tamimi.
Quit following me.
Dear Farazan, I hope it has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the academia keep telling us to give up and that you're most likely dead. But somehow, I feel you've always been persistent. able to shine no matter what Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which you've been to. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi so it can search for you in our place. You didn't like coming home back then and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. Now we're leaving a letter. I don't know the answer to that question, but I regret not being able to say
Welcome home, Farouz. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed. I've safely received the letters. Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then, when I met with that accident, it was on the way to deliver a letter for me. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it, and so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even all, so it could deliver these last letters from them to me. The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too. Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfect just like a living being. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. Tainari told you what happened to me. You don't have to apologize. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. However, finding out that so many people were affected, can you head back to Pardistia? As for me,
Too slow.
You're back!
How was your journey through the death? So Madame Faruzan has some other things to settle.
Madame Farazan will be able to repair.
I'm back! What? Madame Farazan! That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the
So this is a relic of an ancient civil...
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened. Is that so? It's nothing. I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the Academia. I'll start repairing Karkata.
It looks fine, but...
I wish they'd recommend some people with actual
Ah, thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret. If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Karkata? I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to... It's fine. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter Tamimi handed to me and learned I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall into a slump because of this. Besides, you're lending a listening ear to... Oh... Pardius DI looks... Once Karkata's condition stabilizes, but for now, just help me keep... Thank you. I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me then. Yeah.
Surprised she didn't say, "Madam" to you. I was expecting that. Would have been more in line.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation. Wind rises.
You're
how was your journey?
Oh no.
As a researcher, she could perhaps... We should give her some time. And in the future...
I'm back! What?
We've all been waiting for you.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components Huh?
Madame Farazan.
Come now. I thought that you must have... Well, it looks like you already know everything. Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my current abilities. Not even with these parts. As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who come after me. Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. They will only be used for Karkata. I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and
All right. I'll do my best.
Me too! Although... Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi successfully even back then, there's no And when that day comes, welcome home.
The last one. 2 endings through the middle. Where is this?
What now? Master said there's no rush. I feel for Madame but if I get her in trouble with the academia... Yeah, but I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can... Huh? So if I also stay in... Okay then.
Is this the right way? See,
We're back, Madame Farazan.
because you have to pick which class, right? Maybe if you pick the other one.
Why I couldn't ask is that now. I don't know if Tainari's... I don't belong to Kasharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms. Nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of her
She has been invited to Kashara.
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Kasharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanism. Besides, the current Kasharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research, if they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse...
No, that's not it. The representative of Kasharawar recommended you to them, Madame Farazan.
Oh, putting aside my ideological differences with Kasharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge...
Yeah, Akara
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will... The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys...
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood.
Madame Farazan,
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be staying...
Port Ormos? Now there's a...
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. I should probably go back and report to Master.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Pardistii. Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance for a curious researcher like myself to observe the legendary traveler up close.
Madame Farazan! Oh,
all right, calm down. Let me be clear. After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration.
Either way, now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner...
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low.
However,
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it.
That's enough. I will not repeat myself. Take me to a car.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers to test out his...
Quit following me. The wind rises.
Mamdu, the one I recommended is here.
Oh, so you're, Madame Farazan?
Yes, that's me.
Ah, wonderful. We haven't been able to make any progress on our collaboration recently. We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anis thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't...
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all.
But if they're too complicated...
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too easy to play with.
I remember that in your notes. Many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the... But now that you mention it, the ruined...
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a... Oh, you're done already?
Let me explain. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes.
Well, that is easier...
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower.
Isn't this a little...
Of course. When moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a... It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anis that you find volunteers to try out the toys, right? Why don't we do the same for this game?
It's such a simple
Mamdu, let's just...
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the tower to another pole in the smallest number.
You called everyone here.
It doesn't look like it'll take that many.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
Ugh, fine. Let's...
Done. It took me...
Huh?
Not bad. Looks then, let's increase the difficulty. The next...
Wait. Well, since we're already here, why don't we just give it a try?
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder, right?
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
I'm almost done.
Done!
What? How?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time we'll... Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips.
Do you need that many steps for some...
Madame Farazan,
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. If you want to test out your hypothesis.
Got it.
Ah, we don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. However, by the looks of things, why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is? What a shame. You were close. Let's see how well they...
I still have no clue what this game is.
Small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it. Oh.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken. Can I restart?
This got a lot harder.
I solved it! Madame Farazan, it takes 127 steps in total.
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates are important too.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient contraption-making techniques. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write once that happens.
Do you have... Yeah! When can we...
In about 2 days or so, I think. And
of course!
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge... You'd be most...
Thank you for coming. I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Anise. She's able to calmly figure out the big. I'll do my best to teach her over the next few. Well, her interest lies in the application. I do have some old knowledge. My research into mechanism. If she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions, it wouldn't. However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient tech, if I successfully perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore her avatar and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anise's help, You're right. By using detailed and... Thank you.
Squall of Fury!
Allow me!
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly...
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms were used in All right, let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the base...
I don't understand.
Are these really...
They sound a bit...
Oh.
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone.
Oh, this is no fun.
I want to go home.
Forget it. I don't...
I should go home and take...
How did this happen? Forget about getting opinions from others. No one even wanted to stay and try them out.
I'm sorry. I think...
No, you simply gave suggestions. I was the one who decided to follow through. And I will find a way to make up for this error.
Excuse me, but...
Ah, you're that Man Mountain who was in the crowd just now.
What the fuck? Man
Do I stand
Mountain.
out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like someone who'd have anything to do with toys. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kamal, the branch master of Sumeru's Adventurers Guild.
What's the branch master doing here?
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. Can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the Adventurers Guild? Also,
What does the Adventurers...
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with... We have many members who can't read, so books are of little use to them. What they know of handling mechanisms has been learned solely through word of mouth. Even if the academia granted public access to all their books, there are people who can't use them.
Ah, and our booklet is practically all pictures.
Well, it is designed for children.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. Also, those paper strips, you called them paper prototypes? If you can make wooden versions for demonstration purposes, if we can supply a model set for each branch, and if each adventurer carries...
You really think so? I mean, yes. I always knew it. Knowledge will always be needed, one way or...
Making models of contraptions for the Adventurers Guild?
We'll probably have to send in a separate application. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of our first order. This much.
It was our fault, right? Telling her to make it so detailed.
I'll be going then. Say hi. You want to ask why I'm putting aside the fact, after all, no matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on, because I believe whole, even if the others call in the end, when I first started deciphering, that's why there's no need for me to join them. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even I could come up with lots of ideas. You're right. If no one it's better to make it simpler and fun so that children... Thank you.
Quit following me.
Trust me, Reba!
Behold, official back here.
The Princess Endeavor.
Oh, you're here.
We've called up everyone we
My masterpiece is... And if we activate this little... A Sumeru rose will appear...
Oh, I thought it came out of thin air! If the mechanism was bigger, you could make a rabbit appear, right?
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Let's look at the next page. If you fold an...
Whoa. You can make a mechanism?
The principles at play are even more important than the parts that...
These are pretty cool.
I'm not that interested in toys, but...
Everyone! We have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can...
This is such a
But we want to play...
It's fine. We have a lot of paper...
Oh! Professor Just Madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may indeed get the chance to call me Professor. You may wish to pay attention to these few details.
Wow! Hey, Madam Farazan, will we learn origami at the Academia?
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field you like to your heart's content. In the future, if you want, you can even become one of my students.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the Which Darshan teaches it?
Well, in this...
I know! We need to choose Kasharawar.
Huh?
I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami bird.
I want to make even more... Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties, too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children? How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like? Does that mean that we won't get to learn about the things we do like?
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat, the only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher. It's all right. You still have... Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mech...
Alright. That's that. Let's go receive all of these. $150. That should be it. We've done everything. These are all done. 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 And I still need to do the abyss thing. I'll do that, not now. I'll do it off screen. 850k. Eventually when I get to 1 million, then I might finally do the Ascension Crest. Let me just look at the catching. She's got some amazing ER there. EM, I mean. ER's not bad. And I still need to... This guy. Oh. Alright. We've got time. We'll do it later. Alright, let's stop here.